Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon and this is Shannon's Book Nook, and today we're going to be talking about the books that I plan on reading in the month of October using my TBR game. Let's get into it. So if you're new here, I use a TBR game, usually monthly, to pick my reads. I roll 5 die and I try to find a prompt on the board. I call it Yahtzee, but it's not, it's like a play on Yahtzee. It's not really Yahtzee. So let's get into the first roll.
All right, so here is a quick look at the board. We do have a straight row, so we can clear the board for the month of October. It's been a couple of months since I've done this, so let's see if I can remember how to do it. All right, now that the board is cleared and I have my 5 dice, let's do our first roll. We have a 1, 3, 4, and 2 6s. I do believe, let's see. What is something that I have not done yet? I feel like I've gotten a little bit of everything. A 1 and 2 2s. That's 2 1s and 2 2s. 4s and 5s. Okay, let's pick the 2 6s and roll everything else. Okay, 2 6s and 2 3s. Is that even an option? It is not, but I think I'm going to keep the 2 3s and do everything else. Okay, I got one more 3, which gives me 3 3s, which is a random letter generator.
Okay, we're starting off with a random letter generator. So let's get that random letter generator going, and we land on A. Okay. I think I have 2 books that I could pick from. I'm probably not going to read both because I'm not reading a whole ton right now. So I'm going to pick one. I'm going to actually give both as an option, and then whichever one I get to, great. And it works out perfectly because both of these are actually arcs. So the first one is All I See Is Violence by Angie Alita Newell. And this is a historical fiction, horror, political drama based on, I'm assuming, real events, loosely, because of the Native American or the indigenous factor of the historical account. So it says, a woman warrior, a ruthless general, and a single mother, 3 stories deftly braided into the legacy of a stolen nation. The U.S. government stole the Black Hills from the Sioux, as it stole land from every tribe across North America. Forcibly relocated, American Indians were enslaved under strict land and resource regulations. Indigenous writer Angie Alita Newell brings a poignant retelling of the catastrophic true story of the 1876 Battle of Little Bighorn and the social upheaval that occurred on the Pine Ridge Reservation in 1972 during the height of the American Indian movement. I have a feeling this one's going to be kind of a heavy read since it's based on, true events, and my grandmother is part Native American, which makes me part Native American. And even if I weren't part Native American, this history, this bleakness in the American history is just, it's hard to read about. But the other option that I have is A Curse of Blood and Wolves by Melissa McTernan. This is also an arc. So either way, if I pick one of these books, I would be getting an arc read, which is great because we know I'm behind. Now, this is a fantasy romance, paranormal romantasy, and it says, a dark and steamy fairy tale reimagining of Little Red Riding Hood, perfect for romantasy readers and lovers of smut talk. Is it possible to be drawn to someone you've never met? When Ruby feels the eyes of a stranger in the woods, she knows she should be scared, that she should run away, but she can't. Instead, she feels a thrill, feels drawn to this stranger who follows her in the woods, yearns for his eyes on every night, as she walks home, hoping to hear the crunch of leaves under his feet that signals he's there. Will he ever reveal himself? After all, fate doesn't make mistakes. So that's option 2 for a book that begins with the letter A for the first prompt.
All right, roll number 2. Oops, dropped one. Wow, that was a terrible. That was terrible. But I think it ends up where that was a 2 and a 5. Okay, so I think that ends up working in my favor. A 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think I'm going to roll this red one to see if I can get a large straight. I have a small straight, which is a color wheel generator. Let's see. I got a 1, which is a large straight. Other genre.
All right, on our next roll, we got other genre, which is really hard to pick from because I read mostly fantasy romance, but I sprinkle in a little other genres to kind of mix it up. And I think I'm going to go ahead and since it's spooky season, we're going to go with a thriller. So we're going to read I Need You to Read This by Jessa Maxwell. Now, I read Dead Summer by Jessa Maxwell recently, and I thought it was okay. Wasn't anything to write home about, but hopefully this one I'll enjoy. Now, this one is also an arc that I have on NetGalley that I'm way behind on because this book came out in August of 2024. So I'm like a year late. So it says Alex Marks's move to New York City is supposed to be a fresh start. She plans to lay low with her mundane copywriting job, but the news of the murder of her childhood hero, Frances Keene, throws her for a loop. Beloved staff writer and the woman behind the famous advice column Dear Constance, Keynes' death is a shock to her countless fans and readers. When Alex sees an advertisement, searching for her replacement, she impulsively applies, never expecting to actually get the job. But almost immediately, she begins to receive strange letters at the office, and soon Alex wonders why the murderer has never been found. Worse, she can't help but question if her new boss and editor-in-chief, Howard Dimitri, was involved with Keene's death. And I'm going to stop there. There's another paragraph, but I don't want to read it because I try to go in as blind as possible to especially thriller books. So I'm not going to read any more of that. Let's do our next roll.
All right, let's do roll number 3. Roll number 2 was really kind of chaotic. Okay, ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a small straight. Now, let's see. Let's double check something because I have 2 2s. Which, if I get 4, that's an audiobook. But I'm guaranteed that. We're going to go with this. We're going to go with this. Small straight on the first roll. Color wheel generator.
All right, on our next roll, we landed on another generator, but this time we're going to do a color wheel. So let's get that color wheel going and find out what color we have to read. Pink. Okay. No, wait. This works perfect. Let me go grab the book. For a minute there, I was really worried because pink and spooky season, that's kind of hard. I was like, fall, pink, doesn't really go with fall. But I found one. The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. So this is actually on my fall TBR. It's also, I believe it's on my 25 and 2025. So this works out perfectly. So the book says, romance is dead, but this isn't what she had in mind. Florence Day is the ghostwriter for one of the most prolific romance authors in the industry, and she has a problem. After a terrible breakup, she no longer believes in love. It's as good as dead. When her new editor, a too handsome mountain of a man, won't give her an extension on her book deadline, Florence prepares to kiss her career goodbye. But then she gets a phone call she never wanted to receive, and she must return home for the first time in decades to help her family bury her beloved father. For 10 years, she's run from the town that never understood her, and even though she misses the sounds of a warm southern night and her eccentric loving family and their funeral parlor, she can't bring herself to stay. Her father's gone, yet everything else feels the same, and she hates it. Until she finds a ghost standing at the funeral parlor's front door, just as broad and infuriatingly handsome as ever, and he's just as confused about why he's there as she is. Romance is most certainly dead, but so is her new editor, and he has unfinished business. His unfinished business will have her second-guessing everything she's ever known about love. That sounds super cute, but I feel like I read too much of that synopsis. This is why I don't like reading the synopses, because I feel like it gives way too much away. Can we make shorter synopses so that we don't give so much of the plot away? That'd be great. Rant over. Let's do the next spin.
All right, roll number 4. Let's see what we get. 2 1s, a 4, and a... Okay, we're going to keep the 2 1s, and we're going to roll everything else. Dropped 1... 3, 4, 5. That is not very helpful. Maybe keep the 3 because 2 1s and 2 3s. Okay, hopefully we can get another 1. Otherwise, we're going to have to go... Ooh, the free chance. Oh, 3 1s. Oh, wait. 3 1s. Oh, wait, that's a full house. Okay, I have 3 options. I have a lot of options here. I have a lot of options. Okay, look. 3 1s is going to be continuous series. 2 1s and 2 3s is an indie book. But I also have a full house, which is a romantasy. Okay, so what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I have a lot of romantasy on my fall TBR. I don't really, I mean, I'm in the middle of a lot of series right now. So this would be the smart option. But I'm kind of leaning towards the romantasy or indie. We're going to go with romantasy. We're going romantasy.
On next roll, we landed on romantasy, which works out perfectly. I want to read the second book in the Wicked Game series by Kaylee Smith. So the first one is Phantasma, which I read earlier this month in September. I am so ready to read about Genevieve's story and what she finds out in Enchantra. So the synopsis reads, and I'm not going to read all of it because this is another long one, and I don't want to give too much away. Ready or Not meets Throne of the Fallen in a spicy enemies to lover fantasy romance where an Italian getaway turns deadly after a young woman is trapped in her host family's cursed game. Ready or not, the game has begun. Genevieve Grimm has felt adrift ever since her sister became the head of the family. So when a mysterious friend of their mother's invites her to Italy, she accepts. She arrives at his grand palace expecting passion and magic, decadence and luxury, perhaps even a midnight ball. She doesn't expect the owner's ruthlessly handsome son to slam the door in her face. Rowan Silver is tall, dark, and exceptionally rude. An invitation or not, he demands Genevieve leave and never come back. But Genevieve follows nobody's orders, especially those of arrogant rich boys. She slips inside and immediately discovers her mistake. I'm stopping there. I'm not going to read anymore. Look, when I read Phantasma, I wasn't a big fan of Genevieve. She comes off very spoiled and entitled, and she did not gel with me. So I'm excited to kind of see if I'm going to like this book that's based on her and her story. So I'm excited to read this one.
Wow, how did I get so lucky in that last one to have 3 possible options? All right, rule number 5. Ooh, okay, this is a 3. We're going to put this on the thing. Okay, so we got 2 2s, a 3, 4, and a 6. 2 2s and a 3 2 3s would be representation. We also have 4 2s, which would be audiobook. We have 2 2s and 2 4s, which would be a TBR jar. I don't know if I want to pull from that jar. That jar is not nice. So I think I'm going to keep the 2 2s and 2 3s and roll. Okay, I got another 2 2s. Okay, so we're going to try to roll for the audiobook. Come on, give me another 2. Oh no, well, this one changed. This was a 2. Okay, that's not good. That is not good. That did not give me anything. Okay, so I have 3 2s, a 1, and a 4. Oh, wait. 3 2s. Most recent purchase. Thank you. It's there. Okay, that saved me. Most recent purchase. That will work.
And our final roll, we landed on most recent purchase. So I bought 3 books recently at my local indie bookstore, and 2 of them I had read. So that leaves me with just one option here, unless I happen to go out and buy another book, but I don't plan on doing that anytime soon because I really should not be buying any more books. So we're going to be reading Psycho Shifters by Jasmine Moss. Okay. This has really pretty sprayed edges, and I do believe it's a why choose. I'm excited to read this one. So it says, Enter the Cruel Shifterverse, the original why choose romantasy series. Okay, so these alpha males think they own me. After growing up with nothing, I finally found my path to freedom. I'm a shifter, a warrior who transforms into a monster. All I have to do is survive boot camp. I didn't count on my 3 6'5" roommates slash trainers, covered in tattoos, jeweled, and horned. These are like no men I've ever dealt with before. They don't think I belong. They don't think I can fight. They don't think I'm strong enough for war. They don't think I can shift. I'm about to prove them wrong. Jax, Asher, and Cobra are going to be devastated when they discover my truth. Just wait until they see my shifted form. I'm super excited for this just because also like spooky season, this gives spooky season vibes with the whole shifter paranormal thing. So I'm loving that. Cannot wait to read this. So that was all the roles, but I do have another book that I really think I'm going to hope. I really think and I hope that I'm going to get to because the Libby Hold was recently available. And so I won't be able to get to it in the next couple of days. But I'm really hoping to get to Gothicana because I also have the audiobook for this. Now, this is on my fall TBR, and I'm worried about it just because it's got like a gothic vibe to it, and I'm not much of a gothic girly, so we'll see. But this synopsis says, an unusual girl, an enigmatic man, an ancient castle, what could go wrong? An outcast her entire life, Corvinia Clem is left adrift after losing her mother. When she receives the admission letter from the mysterious University of Varenmore, she accepts it as a sign from the universe. The last thing she expects, though, is the olden, secluded castle on top of the mountain, riddled with secrets, deceit, and death. An enigma his entire life, Vad Deverell likes being a closed book, but knowing exactly everything that happens in the university. A part-time professor working on his thesis, Vad has been around long enough to know the dangers the castle possesses, and he knows the moment his path crosses with Corvinia, she's dangerous to everything that he is. And I'm going to stop there. So I'm hoping this book works for me. I've heard mixed things about it, so we'll see if I like it. So there you have it. These are the 3 physical books that I plan on reading in the month of October, and then I have a couple of digital arcs that I'm hoping to get to in the month of October as well. We are on our way into fall spooky season now, and I'm so here for it. And I hope I get to all of the books that I want to get to for fall. So thank you so much for sticking around. If you stuck around for this long, don't forget to like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. If you want to let me know that you are here, leave me a pumpkin emoji down in the comments or tell me a book that you're excited to get to in the month of October. And I will see you next time. Bye.